Everything works off electromagnetic frequency. So the psychological state of a person can only rise as high as their environment. Look at their environment. If you take a person out of a certain frequency and put them in another frequency, they'll operate different as an organism. The black woman is God because she's your supreme being. Without her, you would not be here biologically. You are a black. Let me tell you something. Did you know that you get your skin from your mother? Do you know that you got girl skin? So technically, if you want to be technical, you are a black woman. You just another variation. So
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Yo, this is another video I'm coming at you with. I'm just giving my opinion, like I said, like the previous videos. And it was a very good conversation between Tommy Sotomayor and a guy named Young Pharaoh. Very good conversation. I loved the whole entire video. We need more videos like this. Young brothers in general, having dialogue, talking about life, talking about things. How can we better our families and our situations? And I really believe this was a very good video. Really enjoyed it. And like I said, I don't know any of these brothers. I can care less about trying to take either one of their sides, Tommy or Young Pharaoh. I don't even know them from anybody. I'm just a dude who stumbled upon the video, watched it, enjoyed it, and given my 2 cents and my comments on it. You have the right to have your own opinion about it. So do I. Hopefully you can take something that I say and that you can apply and that will help you. And if not, that's cool as well. So just point out some basic things in this video. Young Pharaoh had most of the points that he was presenting to Tommy, and Tommy just rebutted and replied to it and gave his perspective. So I'm really going off of a lot of things Young Pharaoh mentioned. It was so much in this video, I can only just talk about just some small key points. And I'm not going to make the video very long, but I just want to point out a few things that were said. One of them was how we as a black community, due to generations of slavery, and just to paraphrase, and we're in a situation now, we're not given the fair shake. You know, other races won't give us funding, won't give us loans. We are statistically, a lot of us below the poverty line, and seem to not be able to get ahead. Young Pharaoh mentioned something about if you put us, whether it's black women or black men, we're in the frequency that we are, and we're the way we are due to the environment that we're in. And it's a mentality that was instilled within us due to slavery and things of that nature. And if you put us in a different frequency, the term he used, we would do better. And that's why we are the way we are. I agree with him 100% on that. When you put a society or a group of people in a disadvantaged situation, yes, statistically speaking, more often than not, they're gonna be less well off. Will not be able to. Will be in a situation where they have less financially, possibly poverty stricken, and it would just be in a less situation. And the black community nowadays, we have to work 2, 3, 4 times as hard to get to a level where a lot of our white counterparts or other races, and that's true. So Young Pharaoh was 100% correct on that. But when he used the word frequency, I like to point out that the frequency I believe he should be talking about is the frequency of the mind. The mind is more powerful, I believe, than the situation that other people put us in. And so, yes, we are in a situation, a lot of us, that seem insurmountable, that we're disenfranchised, we're disadvantaged, or whatever you want to call it, through slavery, through many generations. Yes, 100% I agree. But that does not give us an excuse to stay in those predicaments as a black community. Because we know one thing that people cannot take from us. They can take money from us, they can take opportunities from us, but they cannot take our mind. Our mind is one of the most powerful things, the most powerful thing that we have. we live in a time now where we have access to technology. We have access on YouTube. The very fact that you are watching this YouTube video shows that you have access to a well of knowledge throughout the sea of YouTube. YouTube has learning courses, how to educate yourself, this and third. I'm saying all of this because we as a Black community need to start looking at the next step. Okay, yes, the first step, yes, we are disadvantaged. Our white counterparts won't give us business loans, small business loans. We can't. It's harder for us to get ahead. We're racial profiled every day. We're shot by the cops, this, that, and third. And a lot of us are in the hood and below the poverty line. Yes, I agree with all of that. But what do you do next? It's not enough to just complain about where we are and just say, oh, well, we've been done wrong, so this is why I'm where I'm at. I don't agree with that mindset. I agree with the fact that we got in this position perhaps because of generations of not being supported like other races. But I believe the frequency that we need to focus on is the mind, the frequency of the mind. Instead of, like young Pharaoh said, he said, change the frequency of our environment, put us in a better situation. Well, I don't want to wait. We shouldn't wait for someone to put us in a better situation, give us some money, give us a handout. No, change the frequency of your mind, because your mind is the most powerful thing you have. You can educate yourself, like I was saying before. Study, go back to school, learn the craft. We have access to internet, YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube now. On the internet, there's courses you can take online. You can get a degree online. We can get out of the situation that we are as Black people, a lot of us, if we just simply educate ourselves, and we have our mind. So it's not an excuse to just talk about where we are. Talk about what we can do to move out. Yes, it'll be difficult. Yes, we have to work harder, but it is possible, because all we have to do is be willing to do it. So there's no such thing as we can't move forward if we don't put our mind to it. Forget somebody not giving me a handout. Forget somebody saying, hey, they're Black or that we're not going to give them any money, this, that, and third. The only thing you should focus on is changing the frequency of your mind. Be determined enough to keep pushing and get out of the situation you are. And then the chips will fall where they may. The results will come. So that's just a quick note about what he said about, we as Black people, we're in the situation we're in. Change the frequency of your mind. It'll take you places. I can attest to that. One of the other things he pointed out was talking about the Black woman being the supreme being, or as a god, and this and third. I think a lot of times we as Black community, especially Black men, a lot of Black men say this because a lot of us didn't grow up with a father in the home, and we looked at our mothers as the supreme being or as gods because they were the only parental figure in our lives growing up. A lot of them, and this is not in every case, but in a lot of cases, they're the only ones that we looked up to, because the male figure wasn't in the home, the father wasn't in the home. So she did everything. She birthed us, she fed us, she took care of us. And I understand why we would look at the female figure on this high esteem. Now, don't get me wrong. The female figure, the woman, should be greatly appreciated. She should be taken care of. She should be loved, respected, all of those things. If there's a woman out there that has 2 or 3 kids and no father in the home, and she's struggling to take care of those kids and meet all of her needs, I do agree with the state coming in or someone helping them out, even a GoFundMe. I think that will help her get ahead to help those kids, because those kids are the most important aspect, because those kids are very important to support them and get them where they're going. I don't think, however, that the woman should continue that pattern of getting more kids by other guys who are not committing to them. If you have a young man who if you're not certain if that young man is going to be there for those kids, or if you get pregnant, or be there for you, or he's not committed to you, or whatever the case may be, then I wouldn't advise getting with him, having kids with him, by him, and expecting everything to just be hunky-dory, because it's not. That's why I believe marriage works, because God created marriage for this purpose, to have a family unit, a father and mother in the home that's there for those kids, because kids need their fathers. Now, there's a lot of women who unfortunately are in situations where they're by themselves, and they thought they had a partner or someone that's going to be there, or even in marriage, and that's unfortunate that these men ran off or left. And I think they should be helped out financially or what have you. But I'm talking about the situations where it's just fly by night. Oh, I just want to get with this guy or whatever, and I'm not even going to have any discussion whether or not he wants kids or anything. I'm gonna just lay with him, and if I happen to become pregnant, I'm not going to say anything to him. I'm gonna just let the state go after him. I think that's a very destructive pattern on the part of our black women to do, because it repeats a cycle that is not going to get any better, help the black community. I believe in communication. Have communication with the brother. Hey, I just found that I'm pregnant. Do you want to have the child? Well, in a lot of those cases, the woman may still decide to have the child, or she may not. But don't be surprised that the man say, hey, I didn't intend to start a family. I just wanted to, to get with you or whatever. That's a possibility. So when you open yourself to these men that you know are possibly no good, these scenarios happen. So for a woman to get in those situations and continue to have more kids and put herself through that burden of childbirth and having to reach out to the state for money, I don't think that's a wise pattern to follow. And like I said, that's not the scenario with all women or all black women, but I think that's a part in our community that is really just ravaging us, and that we need to really get on top of. But aside from that, I wouldn't go as far as saying women are gods or supreme beings. They're equal with men, and I also think that the man's role is so important, because he's the leader, he's the head, he's supposed to support the family no matter what. If the woman decides, hey, I don't want to work anymore, I want to take care of the kids and still stay home, then the man doesn't have an excuse. He has to step up, he has to lead, he has to protect, he has to do this and the third. There are situations and relationships out there where your marriages where the woman is the breadwinner. She, based upon what type of job she has, and they agree. If they agree that, hey, the man, I'll stay at home and do this while the woman goes out and work, that's a different scenario. So it's relative to every different relationship. But this notion that we as a black community, we just need someone to come rescue us, and we are this way because no one, another race did us wrong. That's true on the front end, that we were initially, quote unquote, done wrong or disadvantaged. I agree with that. But that's not an excuse to stay in this situation, to continue these destructive behaviors. I don't agree with that at all. If you have an individual, let me give you an example. If you have an individual who sometimes deal with mental illness, the person can't concentrate on certain things. They have mental episodes where they can't drive or they can't concentrate on whatever task that they're doing. someone would come up there and say, hey, I don't think it's a good idea if you drive. Yeah, I understand that, you know, you have an illness and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that you can just ignore it and just say, oh, I'm gonna just drive anyway, and just allow them to drive and do tasks that can continue to cause more harm. No, you still have to pull that person aside and say, hey, I empathize with your condition of where you are, but because you have this condition, because you are in this situation, there needs to be things that need to be done so that you don't cause any destructive situations. And so that's the same with the black community. Yeah, we're in a situation where a lot of us below the poverty line, this and the third, but that doesn't mean that we should continue. A lot of us continue a cycle of crime or being in gangs or whatever the case may be. That's not the answer to the situation. That's just going to make the situation worse. So you need someone to say, hey guy, hey girl, hey, what's up? Y'all, you making mistakes. This is not the way to go about it. You need someone to point out the ills of the situation and say, hey, this is destructive. This, that, and the third. Now, Tommy Sotomayor, he's been known to point out things that are wrong in the black society or even with black women, because no one's perfect, black women or black men. But I believe what Tommy says has its place. Yes, you need someone like Tommy to point out what's wrong. Now, he may not take it to the next level and say, hey, these are the next steps that you need to take in order to turn this thing completely around. That can be someone else's job. At the very least, if you stop the destructive behavior, you're stopping the cycle. Now, to better yourself going forward, you need to figure out a way, okay, well, I've stopped the destructive behavior. So what next? Okay, let me go educate myself. Let me go learn something. Let me go back to school. That's what the next step is for a lot of us, is we fail to go to the next step and educate ourselves and get out of this situation that we're in. So I think the frequency of the mind is very important, changing the mindset. And going back to the black male, I think the black male role is very important. And I think that the notion, I think young Pharaoh mentioned that biologically we were part woman or before birth, genetically, from a biological standpoint. I don't know the history of that. I don't know the science of that. I'm not saying that he's wrong, because I know not of that, that information. I can see how that could probably be true, but if that were true, the role of a man it doesn't change. Even if we were part woman or biologically, genetically in our mother's womb, a woman before we came out, doesn't change the charge of what the man is supposed to be in a family setting once he's born and once he becomes a man. He's the protector, he's the head, he's the leader. And that's how you have a strong family unit. And a woman is the strongest a woman can be is if she operates as a woman. A woman has a role and a man has a role. Now, that varies from relationship to relationship depending upon who's better at this. The woman might be better at the finances or this, that, and the third, or that varies. I'm not going into that because that's a whole nother topic. But I would just say that having a male figure in the home is essential to black families and black relationships, especially when you're dealing with kids. So I'm not going in depth of who should do what, the male or female, the black man, the black woman. I'm not going into that because that varies from relationship to relationship. But what I will say, it's important that the male figure is there. I think Tommy did a movie, I haven't watched it, called A Fatherless America. I don't know what it's about. I've heard about it. I might check it out if I can find it. But I think the black male role is very important, and there should be communication between he and the black woman counterpart. There should be communication, and they should be on par together. I don't put one above the other as far as I don't think a man is a god or a supreme being. There's only one God. If you have a man in a relationship, a black man in this instance, following God, if he's been led by God and the woman is following the man, you can't lose. You have a strong family unit. A strong family unit. At that point, you will never lose. You will never lose. But that's just my little tidbit, and like I said, this is just how I roll on it, and I just want to share you my thoughts on this video. There's so much more to unpack, but the video would have been way longer, and but just wanted to just point out a few little points from what they were talking about. And if you have any comments, just leave a comment below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Like and share this video as well. And I got more content coming soon. And just check out your boy. So yeah, subscribe to Must Discuss, and I'll let you later.